Hello everybody and a very good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Moseby. Start of a brand new week. I hope you had a brilliant weekend. We had a lot of snow up here in the northeast. If you've been following my exploits on Facebook and on Instagram, you'll know I had a fabulous time in the snow over the weekend, building snowmen, sledging. I even took the kids with me as well, and they had a pretty good time. No, it was brilliant, a brilliant weekend, but we're back to it. 4th of December already, can you believe? And we are ready to go for another fantastic day in our 12 days of Craftmas. There will be another gift coming your way very shortly indeed. What will it be? We'll be spinning the wheel to find out. We've got 3 jam-packed shows for you as well. Jam-packed today. See what I did there? You've got Monday Makers coming up for you a little bit later on. Usual time and place for that, 6 o'clock here in the UK, 1 o'clock Eastern. In between time, Sarah is going to be winding her way into the studio, continuing our theme of masterclasses right throughout the 12 days of Craftmas. She's going to be doing all things scoring, scoreboards. We're going to be taking a look at all of that construction over the course of that 2 hours. And of course, we give you the heads up and highlight all of the great deals during this morning's Wake Up Call show. And as I said, a bit of a clue who I am with for the first and last show today. She is back. It is the one and only, feel like I've not worked with her for about 3 years. It's the lovely Jan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, it's sort of like, it doesn't feel as if I've been home because I was here on Thursday and I'm not usually here so close together. So yeah, it's been great to get back today, but it has been a while. It's been a while, hasn't it? I know we've bumped into each other in the corridors and things, but to actually work together, it's been a fair few months, I think. Our schedules have just not crossed.
Someone more clever than me will be able to work out when the last time was. But it's you and Michelle are the two that I haven't worked with in ages, and I hadn't worked with Michelle for about 5 months, and I worked with her 2 days last week, and I'm with her again this week. I think it might be the same for you. I feel it was like the summer.
It's like the old buses, isn't it? You wait for ages and then 2 turn at once.
Yeah,
but yeah, we've got a fabulous Jan and Sarah sandwich today, haven't we?
We have.
Yeah, we've got Sarah sandwiched in the middle, and then I'm here for the first show and the 6 p.m. show. So can't wait. Shall we have a look at some samples?
Go on. What we got?
Shall we have a little look? I've got 3 really nice collections with me today for our Monday Makers show tonight, and we're going to demo some of those during Wake Up Call to show you. So that gorgeous Nature's Garden fabulous fuchsia collection. Isn't it? Yeah, so if you like your florals, these are really, really pretty. We're going to go through a couple of demos and show you some of the elements in there. So you've got nesting dies, you've got the decoupage pad, you've got the ability to make those gorgeous 3D flowers, and we've got filigree corners in there. That was very clever use of that, where they put them together to make a, you know, like a doily shape in the background. This is one of my favourites. There's a stamp in there with those gorgeous fuchsias on. They remind me, my mum used to have hardy fuchsias in her garden. So there's sort of been a fond memory of times we used to spend in the garden with mum when she was growing them. And then that embossing folder in that collection is absolutely stunning. We're going to do something a little bit different with that one. You know me, it's sort of a little bit outside the box.
That's it, get out of the box.
And then we've got the gorgeous lace creator card dies. So again, these layer up. So you've got the 2 layers, you've got that outside frame and an internal one that cuts into the card. Can be used together, can be used separately. And there are 4 different designs. So you've got that lovely square design. You've got one that's sort of based on an oval.
That's beautiful. We've
got one that's based on a rectangle.
Yeah.
And then I'm just checking the number of sides. I think it's a hexagon shape. Yes, it is, isn't it?
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. So again, we're going to have a look at those during Wake Up Call. And then absolutely love this one. I don't have a massive amount of samples, but this was Sheena's Bella Luna collection. And oh my goodness, if you haven't seen this yet, absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, we've got the paper pad selection and all the dies and the embossing folders and stamps that go with it. But yes, some absolutely, as you would expect from our Sheena, some beautiful elements to allow you to make backgrounds, to just use your papers, to add those stamped images. So yeah, I've really enjoyed playing with that one, very different.
It's one of the most beautiful collections, is that Bella Luna, and your opportunity to grab all of those deals right throughout the show. Best thing to do is hit the shop today button. You'll see all of the deals that you can get picking up right now. And don't forget to say hello as well, get in touch. We've got Jan in the studio and Jan on the socials today as well.
There we go.
It is literally a jam-packed day. Sarah Brown says, hello everyone, and special hugs to Jan and Ben, sending lots of love. Ben, it was my friend Zara's birthday. Yes, Sunday. She was 5. Could you wish her a happy birthday from you and Jan? I can then show her you are really real. Yes, we can say hello. Long story here. So Sarah Brown has a little friend called Zara who's just turned 5 who doesn't believe I'm real.
She doesn't believe you're real.
No.
I can vouch for that. Shall I give him a nip and make him ouch?
Go on.
Here he is. Look, he's real.
There we go. But Zara, just to prove again that I am real, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Yeah, how fabulous. Oh, to be 5 again.
Oh, I know.
I know what we know now.
Oh, can you imagine?
Oh, can you imagine? Yes. Happy birthday, sweetheart.
We could rule the world. Hi to Betty, who's also joined us from Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. And Christine Mahoney says, good morning. I'm not feeling the best. Bad cold in my throat and chest. I'm not doing anything but watching you guys today. Well, Christine, hopefully we can cheer you up. We'll be the tonic she needs, maybe.
Yeah, best wishes, Christine. It's like we don't like anybody to be poorly, but it's that time of year, isn't it, with all the cold, well, it is here for us, with all the cold weather and the temperature changes. It's not good, is it? So
No. Can bring on the old lurgies, can't it? Yeah.
Get the hot water bottle out, get in front of the telly. That's all we need, isn't it?
That's it, absolutely. Listen, get in touch, say hello. Any questions you've got over the course of the day today as well, feel free to do so, because that's what we're here for, and particularly the fact that we're continuing those masterclasses as well. But any questions in general, feel free to ask. Now, if it is card and paper you're after today, then we have got a bundle for you. Take a look at this. Wow, that... If anyone expects me to touch that during the day today...
It's like a tower of cards.
They have got another thing coming, because that spells disaster for a clumsy soul like me. So you can just admire it. I have some spare pads here, which I might just pick and flick through for you later on. But this is a huge, huge bundle that you're going to be getting. Take a look at everything that you're going to be getting here, because it is, well, literally loads and loads of paper pads. You've got all of those limited edition Ultimate Pro pads there for you. The Ditzy Florals, the Botanic Gardens, you've got the Rainbow, you've also got the Kingfisher pad in there, you've got 2 of our fantastic 12 by 12 pads that bring you that gorgeous sort of pearlized cardstock and the glitter cardstock. You've got all of that gorgeous luxury cardstock from the Wild at Heart collection, and we've got more glitter cardstock in there as well. I did my maths on this earlier on. It might be slightly wrong, but I worked out that within this bundle, if you go for it today, it's £79.20 or $96. You're going to get your Wild at Heart, your pastels, your lilac. You've also got some Nina cardstock in there hiding away somewhere, and the Kingfisher pad, absolutely free. So the Wild at Heart, that pastels pad, the 24 pad, your lilac glitter, your Nina and your Kingfisher, you're getting all of that for free within the bundle when you grab it today. It's an incredible price that you're saving £62.90 on, or $73.70 if you're a platinum member. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's time to spin the wheel. You think it hasn't spun the wheel? But I'm feeling very generous today. I'm feeling very excited because it's the first time, and I always get to spin it now, but today what I'm going to say is, Jan, how would you, seeing as we haven't worked together in so long, how would you like to come and spin the wheel?
Can I? Am I allowed?
I'm saying you can.
That's very exciting, isn't it? I'm going to do a dash across the studio.
Here we go.
Ready?
So basically, on the wheel, you know, we've got loads and loads of different items for you here. So you could be getting things like a discount. You could get a flash sale, 5 off 30. It's all on there for you, Jan. All you got to do is spin it, and wherever it lands.
Spin.
What were we doing? I'm going to hide here.
Just a quick...
Just a little, whatever you feel.
Goodness.
Okay. Oh, look at me peering over the top.
Yeah, it's like I don't think I can even get that high.
What does it say?
It's our bonus points.
Ooh.
So there may be extra bonus points with your purchases.
So what we'll have to do then, so what happened the other day when we had the discount, Dean will now send off the information to our team and we'll find out how many bonus points it's going to be.
So the question is how many, isn't it? Oh, it's having a little list, isn't it? It's like it's wanting to carry on. Stop there, we want bonus points.
Well, yes.
I feel very privileged.
Well, I know.
Right, I'm off to back to my side.
There we go.
To the dark side.
You span it well, Jan. You span it well.
I feel very privileged this morning.
We'll find out in just a second how many bonus points we are going to be receiving, but it'll be bonus points on every order, so stand by for that. As soon as I get the nod from producer Dean, I will let you know. And the bonus points, whatever they are, will be applicable on everything up until midnight tonight. Let me know, Dean, as soon as you're here. Marianne Rosie says, good morning all from Edmonton. And hi also to Rosalind Russell, who says, looking good, Ben, with or without the facial hair. Thank you. It was it was a bit of a tough decision the other day whether to shave it off or not, particularly when Mrs. M, who normally goes, I'm not really sure, the day I went to shave it, she's like, oh, I actually quite like it now. What? So I think I might keep it as a November thing, but yeah, I feel like I look younger without the facial hair, don't you agree?
I quite liked it. It was the goatee this year, wasn't it? Because last year was just the moustache, but yeah, we went a bit, I quite liked the goatee. I thought it was quite a distinguished look.
Did you think?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, now people say, now I've shaved it off. It took me 30 days to grow that. Right, okay, as soon as we know the bonus points, are we going to, do you want me to move it out of the way? Do you? Okay, okay, I'll put it down here look, so you can see me. There we go. As soon as we know what the bonus points are, I will let you guys know. But let's get on to the first item for you, which we had a little bit of a look at with Jan a few moments ago, the Delicate Lace Creator Cards Complete Collection. $51.96 or $59.80 is the price you should be paying on this. However, you're saving $20.96 today or $24.80. And if you, of course, are within the club, you're going to get your discount on that as well. Platinum price is down to £24.80 or $28. And I'm thinking to myself, like, when we find out worst case scenario, you're going to be getting double points, aren't you? Because we're not just going to go, oh, that's normal points. It's bonus points, so at least double, potentially triple. You could be getting on this. Oh, is that? Oh, we know what we're getting. Oh, not yet, no. I just heard Dean go, ooh. I was like, oh, tell me. No, we don't know yet. We'll let you know. But look at these beautiful, beautiful dies. Like Dan was showing you earlier on, you've got the ability to be able to use both to create this fantastic, most detailed design. Cut in with the inner die, again, to create a beautiful sort of delicate aperture, or you can create a stunning sort of layer here by having your kind of central panel in and all of the detail around the outside. So many different things that you can do with these, and they are absolutely beautiful. The kind of like frames that you can use across multiple collections. Then, as well as your embroidered lace, you're going to get this stunning corded lace. So you've got your sort of rectangle shapes, this beautiful oval shape in there as well. Then, oh, I've just heard what you're getting bonus points wise. I'll tell you in just 1 second. You've got your Leon lace, so if you like to make your more sort of square cards, you can do that too. Can we just appreciate here as well? And I know you can use both together, use both separately. Look, when you use both together here, that is just the most detailed die cut I think you'll ever wish to see. It's absolutely gorgeous. If you like to do a bit of paper piecing, if you like to do a little bit of colouring, these are absolutely perfect for that. And then your last one is the torchon lace. Again, got a real sort of doily feel about it, that one. Whether you use both together, whether you use just the outer, or indeed use that smaller detailed inner die to create a really, really fantastic effect. Very, very versatile, very, very beautiful. And I can tell you, I'm just hearing the bonus points today on all orders.
10. No? Oh.
Boom!
Better.
Triple points on all orders.
Triple?
Yes. Triple.
My goodness.
Yes.
Triple points.
Yes.
Look at that.
So it's normally £1, 1 point.
That's brilliant for this time of year, isn't it? Because if you're approaching that next band on Club Inspire, those triple points could get you there before the end of the year to carry it on through to next year.
Absolutely right.
Wow, they thought that one through, didn't they?
They did.
Yes.
And that's not like us. Is it? Hey, but we thought it through today. Triple points on all orders, not just on the shows, but right across the website as well.
Brilliant.
Tell your friends, everybody. Tell your friends. We'll get on to it. We'll say hello to Gaz, who says, good morning, Ben, Jan, and our lovely social superstar and all my crafty friends. Lynn joins us, saying hello to all the CTV team from a very wet Newcastle. And thank you to Linda Armstead, who says, distinguished means old, Ben. Thank you. It was going a bit grey, to be fair, down here. Let's move on. Let's have a look at these with Jan. These are absolutely gorgeous, aren't they?
They are. They're really nice to work with if you like your die cutting. And although it doesn't say on the packaging, they are a little bit like that. They're almost broaching a creator card because as you can see, you know, the designs are big enough to be that focal point on your card. So we've got that rectangle shape there. You can see where it's cut that beautiful outline, and then you can match it up with the central panel, which has got a slightly different design in. Layer them up a little bit. You can cut it into that back panel. I love the way, you know, I love things that do more than one job. So yeah, there's lots of options with it. So that one, we've just popped it on a fold back, and then you've got that lovely oval one in there to reveal the inside. But they just layer up so beautifully together. So again, we've actually got that one just on the front panel there. So we've cut away part of the card and let that one, as I say, they're almost large enough to be sort of in that creator card bracket. The square one's very, very cleverly done there, where they've actually been doubled and twisted. So that gives a whole different look to the square, but it's the same die. So yeah, being able to do those different things with it. And then we've got that lovely hexagon one that I showed you at the top of the show there. So we're going to use this one in our demo. I like the shape of this one. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Fabulous.
Versatility is the key here, and you're very much like Debbie in the fact that, you know, we don't like sets that are one-trick ponies. We like sets that give you versatility and the ability to kind of mix and match and change things around just a little bit, and you've certainly got that in spades with this set. The question remains though, Jan, which of the sets are you going to use in your first demo? It's
going to be that torchon, that hexagon-shaped one. Yeah, that just appealed to me, that one. I have got another one for later on in the 6 p.m. show. But this morning we're going to go with the torchon lace. So these are approximately, if you drew a square round it, approximately 5 inches in that square. So the widest part there, just slightly under on that other part. So we're going to cut it twice. We're going to cut the outside layer, and just for the benefit of anyone that hasn't seen these yet, you've got a die cutting edge all the way around that outside to give you that beautiful filigree shape, but there isn't a die cutting edge around the inside. So it's going to keep your piece of card solid here, which is what we're going to do this morning. And then you have options with this second one. So again, this one has got the cutting in element. It doesn't have a constant die cutting edge, and you can either cut this onto a separate piece, which is what we're going to do this morning, or they've been designed perfectly that you could die cut that into the outside frame if you wanted a whole piece. Very sort of doily-esque, I think, these designs. Absolutely. So I've brought a couple of pieces of different cardstock. I've got some very, very pale pastel pink, and this is linen card from our Pastels 12 by 12 pad that we're going to pop this one on. And I must admit, I was very frugal with my piece of card. It was only just big enough there, wasn't it? But I think we're okay.
You know, if you wanted to have that and create that aperture, I guess a lot of people would have nesting dies they could fit in.
Absolutely, you could. I did consider that actually, Ben. I did consider just finding a circle die that would fit in the middle, so you could cut an aperture out. For example, if you wanted to create a shaker card, put some acetate behind it, something like that. So you can see there are lots of different options there. And then I had a quick look through my stash and found, and I apologise because I think this may be from the Frosty and Bright collection, but it's a beautiful, delicate pink mirror card. And I've just got some scraps left of it, so we're going to cut that internal piece into this one. So yeah, I do vaguely remember the Frosty and Bright Christmas collection last year having some pink tones in it, so it may be from there. But I put all my scraps in my coloured drawer, so I don't always know where they've come from. So I've just got my junior plates here. I think we should be able to fit those both on one plate like so. And then just the normal sandwich for these. So I've got my frosted shim, my magnetic mat, which has got a little, I'm just going to get rid of, it's a sticky piece as well. Let's get rid of that piece. And then the top plate on there as well. And then I'm going to pop those through our Gemini. Okay, these will fit through any machines if you don't have a Gemini yet, whether it's the original or the new Gemini 2. If you do have a Gemini, it will also go through your Gemini MIDI. So you've got a variety of different machines there. They're just thin metal dies, and then we'll do that lovely reveal. Now I've just been having a look for my die brush, which seems to have gone on walkabout. So we'll have to just give the little tap. Now this one, if you remember, I said cut into the card, but I actually want it as a separate piece, so I'll show you how I tackled that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to lift it from the back so that it doesn't damage. And you can see there the power of the Gemini. The majority of the pieces have stayed in the die, which is great, and you've just got those little oddments that like to cling and stay in place there. So yeah, once we've got all those pieces out, you can see that that's actually stayed. If I put that against the white, let me just grab you some white there. You can see how that's stayed cut into my piece of card. Now I wanted this as a separate topper, so you've got a couple of ways of doing that. I'll come back to that one in a second. And then again, that pastel cardstock there, and this one's cut out round the outside. So again, I'm just going to have a look for one of those release holes and then turn it over and release it, because I can see exactly where it's...
Yeah.
I always tend to release from the back. And again, you know, this is the testimony of the Gemini.
It's incredible.
The bits are in there. You don't have to worry. There's just the odd little bit that likes to sort of put up a protest.
There's always one. It's like when you do the washing up, but there's always one teaspoon
I
left
want
at
to
the bottom
stay
of the
in
bowl.
there, yeah. There's always an odd little bit that decides it wants to stay. But you can see they're all die cut. And it's the most gorgeous sort of, oh, as I say, it's very doily-esque, I think, this one. So again, we'll put it on that white cardstock. And you can just see that beautiful, beautiful detail there.
Yeah.
Really pretty. Now, this is a 6x6 card blank, so you can see, you know, that is the perfect size again. It's all been thought through. We're just going to do a little bit of matting and layering in the background. Now, I said I wanted this as a cutout piece. So you've got a couple of options with this. So one of the easiest tricks that I can give you is to take your piece back that you die cut and lock it in place. You'll feel it lock back into the, she says, it's not symmetrical there because it's not, it will go. Do you know, I thought that was going to go back in. Dead easy, because it's clearly not quite symmetrical, but yeah, it should just lock
pop back in,
back into the die cut. It's going to make me go all the way around it. There we go. Yeah, you can feel it's locked back in.
Okay.
So what you can do with a pencil is just draw, or a pen, round the outside of here.
Okay.
And that'll give you that sort of like millimetre as an edge to cut it out. Now, I didn't think of that last night because it was quite late when I was finishing prepping last night, and I didn't think of that, and I thought, right, I'm just going to snip it out. So all I did was go round and snip those little pieces that are locked to keep it in the frame there. And I've just gone all the way around and snipped those out. I've just done them roughly to get the piece out of the design. And then I went back and actually tidied up those little cuts so that we'd got a bit more uniform shape. But you can see now that we've created ourselves that little piece. Now you can keep the little spokes on there if you wish. I went quite close to mine when I cut it out last night. So you can see this one still got those little spokes sticking out, which looks quite nice. But I went really sort of close to the edge of it when I trimmed it off last night. So yeah, really pretty way of sort of ending up with another die cut, because I wanted to create a bit of dimension. So yeah, we're going to go with this one on the top of here like so. But like I said, you know, you can die cut this one into the centre of here. You could then put some coloured card behind to make like a drop shadow behind it. You could cut it out, like we said, with a circle and pop acetate behind it to make a gorgeous shaker piece behind there. So all I did was have a look through my stash to get some coordinating paper, and this is an older paper pad. It's still one of my faves. It was called Garden of Love. Many, many moons ago. I'm probably going back 2 or 3 years now. But it's such a pretty paper pad, especially with those delicate pinks. So I've just taken one out of my 6x6 pad and layered it on that same pastel pink linen cardstock that we used for the die cut there. So I've just grabbed my Collal All-Purpose. You know that's often my go-to if I'm just sticking cardstock to cardstock. If you prefer your tape pens, absolutely fine. I know our Craig loves his double-sided tape. So whatever your go-to is, that's where you want to land. It's not, you know, sort of imperative that you use the same as what I do.
You do you.
Yeah. So that one's just going to go on there. I'm just going to have this as a normal, what I call a book fold card. So it's going to open at that left-hand side, have the fold at the left-hand side there. That's going to be my matte layer. Okay. And then we're going to lay this one nice and flat on here. Okay, so I'm going to swap to my dotty tape pen for the purpose of this one. So this is perfect for the job.
Oh, yes.
Just on the back of it. And again, I've still got one of the older ones here. Don't forget we've got those new refillable ones in there if you want to stock up on those. But I've still got some of the old ones in my kit, so I'm still working with those.
They've been selling like hotcakes as well, Jen.
I know.
Amazing.
And as I say, perfect for the job because
Yeah.
I just want the adhesive to land on the back of the die cut. So a really light touch and just transfer those dots onto the cardstock. I don't want to push them through onto my mat, but literally just get some of those round the outside so that all that filigree work is going to be secured and it's not going to get damaged if you're wanting to pop this in the post or, you know, pass it on. So yeah, all the way around those edges. And then I'm going to come back with that solid piece in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
And just pop a bit of the wet glue in the middle. So this is going to go on, there's nothing here, no sticky on the mat here. So I want to get, if you notice, there are two sort of pointed edges. Not the best to see there. There we go.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there are two that are flatter.
Oh, yes.
So it's just the way that the design is. So I'm going to put those slightly flatter edges to the top and bottom.
Okay.
And then just centre that roughly in the middle there. Okay. So that one's going to go flat onto the page.
Okay.
And then this one's going to go in the centre. Now, I just wanted something to lift it off there, okay? So I wanted to just add something. So all I did was just grab a scrap of white cardstock, just to pick up the white from here.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to do is lay this one across the centre here, just to break it up a little bit before we add this one. And you can just see what a difference that makes to those two layers. It gets a little bit, not lost, but I just wanted that differentiation between them. So yeah, I'm going to use my straight tape pen, and I've just gone, because this paper had elements of gold in the background, I've just used one of my gold metallic pens and just gone around the edge of this just to pick up that and sort of add in that gold. So again, I'm just going to use a little bit of the, I'm not using that one.
Oh.
Somebody's been a bit heavy-handed with that one. Forgive me, I'm just going to use my dots for a second and I will replace that one. I don't usually like using the dots on things like this, but there we go. So again, make sure we're the right way up. Yep. And that one's just going to sit, and I'm just going to centre it between the design here. So just have a look and see what we've got showing at each side. And I think that's about good. And then again, I'm going to come back to those dots. Every time it's a die cut like this, just those little filigree dots just do the job perfectly. It's changed the way I've looked at die cuts this. I used to spend an age going round it with my fine tip glue and it just took forever, but this just makes it all so easy. So again, I'm going to use two of those panels to centre it on the white, and then look at it sort of roughly top and bottom. Make sure we've got it reasonably centred. Give that a good press. And then I was like, right, I want something for the middle. So we had a little root in the stash, and I've just got a tiny little pearl centre there. So I'm going to pop that on with a little bit of glue. I couldn't find the glue gun either this morning. Everything's gone rogue this morning. So yeah, I've got to use a little bit of tacky glue because that's perfect for adding embellishments.
Found a dye brush tool over here now as well.
You've got a dye brush?
Well, it's still in the packet.
Was it?
But I'd have taken it out for you.
It's okay. So yeah, that one will dry and stay in place. I also added a couple of pearls in advance just to link with this one here. And then it was off for a sentiment. So what did we want for a sentiment? And at the moment, I am absolutely in love with those simple sentiments that came out with the collage stamps, which I had with me last week, and these have never gone away yet.
Font ones.
Yes, absolutely love them. They're just a little, I'll show you on the overhead, you can see there. Just you can make up whatever greeting you wish. And the top tip that I gave last week, if you weren't watching when I was here last week, was if you take the protective cover off here and actually pop this down on your mat or whatever you work on, ink it up, and then take your piece of cardstock, I'll just use this as an example, lay it over the top, and then I use my brayer to just get an even coverage and print out the whole lot in one go. and then you can snip out the bits that you want, keep the others in a little box, and you've got a go-to stash of stamps there to get every time.
Yeah.
I really do love them. I don't know what it is about them. They're so simple, and quite often I find with the sentiment that I spend quite a bit of time looking because I don't want to cover up too much of the design.
Yeah.
So all I did was I actually took out of there have, and then you've got so you can make up your own sort of sentiments here. Have a wonderful day. So that's going to be my sentiment for this one.
Lovely.
There we go. Look, you can just see those there.
Yeah.
So all I've done is I've stamped them, I've cut them out, and I've popped a little tiny bit of tape on the back of them.
Okay.
So again,
it's a bit like what's the font? I can't. Is it like a ticker tape font?
It's almost like a typewriter font.
It is, isn't it? Like that old sort of typewriter.
So we're going to go at the top with have, and I'm sort of purposely not going straight with them because, again, you know, I know I have trouble sometimes getting things straight. So an easy way to avoid that is
crooked.
to make them go on the wonk. Yep. So we're going to have,
Yeah.
and then this at the bottom, I am going to try and get a little bit more straight. So I've just popped some of my thin red line tape on the back. We were talking about this last week. I do love my red line tape, and whereas it's probably not necessary for this kind of job, it's there in my stash and it's one of my favourite adhesives to use. So yeah, I do tend to overuse it a little bit. I love the fact that it's got the different widths as well. So you've got the 3 widths to choose from. So yeah, it is quite a prominent part of my stash, the red line tape.
You know my feelings about the red liner tape. I love it, but I always struggle to get the back of it.
Pressure.
I know.
The secret is pressure. It's pressure sensitive. So if you actually, even to the extent of rubbing it with your bone folder, get all the air bubbles out, it should come off. I find the hardest part is getting rid of it off your skin. My husband will be like, have you cut yourself, love? And it's a piece of the red line stuck to my arm or something like that, yeah. Right, so let's just move all those bits out of the way. We've got that finished design there. I haven't done the centres. I do often decorate the inside of the cards, but I haven't got an inside for that one. But just really, really delicate. I think these would make a great kind of like wedding invitation, anniversary, that kind of thing. So however you want to incorporate them in your stash. Really, really pretty.
That's such a lovely take on that. And Sarah Brown is saying that is stunning. Love the technique, says Michelle Harris. And Michelle also says, I've got this collection. It's a brilliant, brilliant collection. And the great thing about picking this up, of course, again today is the fact, don't forget, you're going to get triple points as well. So by my dodgy maths, that's at least 72 points you're going to be picking up if you're platinum. 84 if you're shopping in the US and you're a platinum member. And they're brilliant. This is that gorgeous torchon lace here for you. So again, you can see in detail all of the beautiful design that you've got across those 2 dies, and whether you use them all together to create the most extravagant die cut here, or maybe just use the outer die. Again, like we've discussed with some of these, you might find that you've got nesting dies that you can cut out the centre of to create an aperture with the outer die, but you do also have that gorgeous inner die there as well. It's all about the gorgeous detail. Again, creator cards in name as well, creator cards in nature. You can do so many things with these. Use these as like, you know, the starting point for a card, or use these as a card as a whole. Again, look at this one, which is your Leon lace, the square one. Again, you have nesting dies to be able to cut that out. You might be able to come around that and cut around that with your trimmer or your craft knife if you want an aperture there, but the detail on these is just second to none. You've also got that corded lace there too, which is the oval shaped, and then you have the final one, which is your embroidered lace, which is more of a rectangular shape. Some gorgeous, gorgeous detail. I think that one might be my favourite actually. £24.80 or $28 is your price on that one. And we'll see some more on that later on. Gaz is saying, I love how simple and pretty that is. That's the thing again, when you've got dies like this, which are going to kind of doing all of the work for you, you can create really, really quick, easy, simple cards that look like you spent a lot of time pouring your heart and soul over them. Diane says, beautiful card and great tips. Now, if you are going to be crafting, then you potentially might need a bundle like this. If you're someone new to crafting, actually, this next collection, the Essentials Mega Bundle collection, is certainly something which has everything that you need when it comes to your craft room. Now, just to say, if you want to go for the guillotine on its own, that is available as an individual buy. It is $24.99. on its own, $19.99 or $31.99. It's your small guillotine. Say small, it's not small really. It's more portable than the large guillotine. Let's just say you've got your 8 3/4 cutting platform. Love with this as well that you've got that super sharp blade. We all know the story about Leanne visiting the sword manufacturers. And of course, don't forget, you've also got your score board integrated in here as well. So it's a great portable tool to take with you. If you want something to cut and something to score with, rather than taking both, you can take this one. It's like that old advert. Take 2 bottles into the shower? Not me. Is that if you want to score and you want to cut, you've got your... Jamie doesn't remember that advert. It used to be... what was the advert? Take 2 bottles into the shower? Not me. I think it was Head and Shoulders. Yeah, yeah. Shampoo and conditioner in one. Cutting and scoring in one. Now, I would say to ignore this deal here for $24.99 or $39.99 because if you go for the Essentials Mega Bundle, you can get everything I'm about to show you for £40 or $56. I've done my Moseby maths on this again, right? And this is how it... Don't laugh. They're laughing in my ear. This is how it works out for me. So you're going to buy your guillotine. We're then also going to give you one of our stamping platforms. That's the handy 6x6 platform. These are just brilliant. This is the one that I've got at home if you have trouble getting a straight stamp, a detail stamp impression each and every time you're using it, then these are great. They've got the little spring-loaded feet. Allow you to get even pressure every time you use them. They're absolutely brilliant. Then we're going to be throwing in something else which I've got at home as well. These keep finding their way, right? I've got a little in my spare room. My spare room now doubles up as like my sort of studio / where I've got all my craft stuff. I don't have a craft room. I've just got piles of stuff.
It's getting there. It's getting there.
Yeah. These scissors, right, Laura's found out how good these scissors are, and these are normally in my pile of crafty stuff, but if I can't find them, I'll find them down in the kitchen drawer because she keeps nicking them. True story. True story.
They are excellent.
Aren't they?
I love one of the biggest things about them from my point of view as a crafter is that Teflon coating, so they don't get gunged up with all the adhesives and everything. Some of the scissors I've had in the past, I used to spend forever cleaning them because they'd got all the bits of adhesive where you cut your tape and your things like that.
And I know this sounds like a silly thing to say, and I was one of these people. Before I started using ours, you think, well, scissors are scissors, and you've got scissors at home. Thinking, how can the Crafter's Companion scissors be any better than the scissors I've already got? Get this home, try it out, and you'll wonder how you survive with the scissors that you've currently got at home. These are next level, hands down the best scissors that you'll ever have. Start the scissors chat for me now in the comments. Whenever we mention the scissors, it goes wild. They are perfect for crafting and just everyday cutting needs. You'll have a pair in every room of the house. Now, that there is what you're paying for, okay? But what else am I going to get? I hear you cry. Well, for free, we're going to throw in something which Jan could have done with just a few moments ago. The die brush tool. This is, again, absolutely brilliant. But as you see, like our machines are great, you know, for kind of getting that crisp, clean die cut each and every time. But when you need to clean out your dies, these are absolutely perfect. You can buy the little replacement head for those as well, but it'll be a while before you need to use that. And you get your little mat there as well, which is a great combination to use with your die brush. You're also going to get for free one of Craig's favourites, as he calls it, the edge crimpler. Crimper, isn't it? Not crimper.
It's a crimper.
Yeah.
Or distressing tool.
Distressing tool.
It's a distressing tool. I love it.
Yeah. Use it around the edges of your cardstock and your paper to give that more sort of vintage, sort of distressed effect. So that's free. Always handy. Want some more freebies? I'll give you some freebies. Pokey tools.
Yep. I never have too many pokey tools.
No, you can't. They're like pens, aren't they? Like
they are, and it's like if you've only got one, it always gets hidden. It's always hidden. It's like, where did it go? If you've got a spare to go to, you don't have to spend an age looking for the one that's hiding from you. Yeah.
So you're going to get those for free. You want some more? You want some more freebies? I'll throw some more freebies in. What about some tweezers?
Oh, now you know how I love mine. 4
sets of tweezers here. So this is your flat end, your straight point, your angle point, and then you've got your needle point. Which do you use the most out of those then? Would you say?
What I call the original tweezers, which are the squeezy tweezers. If I just pop them over my hand, you can see those. But I also like the inverted ones that stay closed and you have to squeeze them to open them. So when I'm heat embossing or anything like that, they're great because you know once you've got those onto your card, it's almost having like a little paper clamp on there. So they stay closed and you can do your heat embossing without burning your fingers. And then when you're ready, you squeeze them and it lets them go. It's like the opposites.
Everyone will remember, it was a while back now, but Corin and I swapped sides during the show and I was doing it. It was with the little rocker cards that we had. I was making the card anyway, and I needed to use the tweezers, and I pulled out the back to front tweezers.
Yeah.
Could I figure out how to work them?
Yeah.
Could I, Heck, on live TV? It was so funny. I still remember that. I wake up in the middle of the night and have sweats about it. But you're going to get those for free. You want more freebies? All right, I'll tell you what else I'm going to do for you. I am going to throw in one of our craft knives. All right, that is the straight blade craft knife, not the wibbly wobbly one, which Debbie always goes on about. So you've got the super sharp blade and soft grip, easy to use, easy to hold. And we're going to give you your replacement blades in there too. Do you want another freebie? Go on then. We're also going to give you your burnishing tool as well, your bone folder. Whether you prefer to have the long straight bone folder or the curved one, you have got both. So that is free, that is free, that's free, that's free, that's free, and that is free when you buy those in that mega bundle. I would say that that is a comprehensive, just about as comprehensive as it gets when it comes to you know, all the essentials.
Tip there, haven't you? And then, of course, there's those extra points on there as well,
Triple
aren't there?
points. By my math, that's 120 points if you pick that up today. Or if you're in the US...
How brilliant.
168. By the way, can I just put this out? I know we're going for a break in a second. If the Gemini 2 is still on that incredible deal, which I think it is, today is that day to be snapping that up. I'm right, it is, isn't it? It's still there. 159.99 platinum, 239.99 platinum if you're in the US. If you pick that up today, imagine the triple points on that.
Wow.
That's
that would definitely get you to the next level, wouldn't it?
Be 480 points in the UK. It's 250 a threshold, isn't it? Apart from when you go from gold to platinum.
That's definitely worth thinking about, isn't it?
But I think, you know, when we have triple points, it's all about getting your kind of craft room essentials, isn't it? Stocking up on card and adhesives. I guess that's what you would be doing on a day like today, right?
Yeah, definitely. All those things that are consumables that you're going to use and use through, get stocked up on them, get those extra points. As I say, this time of year, it's perfect for getting you through into that next band. Yeah. Because whatever you finish on, as far as Club Inspire's concerned, you will take through and get the enjoyment from that all next year. So yeah, it's worth it. If you're very close to the edge of your band, whether it be bronze into silver or so on, it's definitely worth thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for all the love coming through. Lovely card, Jan, says Lynn Morton. And good morning from South Carolina, says Paul Prince ×4. In time for a pretty card by Jan. One quick one to show you. Won't spend too much time here because you guys know all about the My Special papers. We can't have much stock left of this is all I'm going to say, because I know this was almost... Oh, there we go. Look at me. Do you know what? I think my memory's getting better over the last couple of weeks. I'm normally very forgetful, but... I said we don't have many left. We don't. We have 31 of the My Special Papers boxes, and then they're gone. They're gone. £47.99 or £55.99 for this fantastic box. I'll just show you a few in here. We've got in here some of your favourite collections, plus some exclusive papers as well, like these gorgeous, gorgeous poppies. There are 240 sheets in here. We weighed this back along as well, took it into the kitchen, because I was interested to know actually how much the whole box weighs. Yeah, it's £9.
I can say it's a fair bit, isn't it, with all that cards, all that paper in there. Yeah. They're beautiful, aren't they? I love the poppies.
The poppies are gorgeous, and I know this is upside down, but it's a lot of collections that you guys love. So there's like vintage butterflies in here. There's hummingbirds there. We've got the sunflower collection in here too. A lot of people, Jan, I was so surprised when we first launched this. One of the main things, obviously people love the designs, they love the value for money, but loads of people said they love the fact that they were single-sided.
Yes, it's always hard when they're... I love the double-sided papers, don't get me wrong, and there is a definite space for them if you're doing something where you can see both sides, but it's hard to choose which side to use. You feel as if you're wasting some of it because you're hiding it underneath, if you're doing like a matte and layer as a background.
Yeah, it always does seem like a bit of a waste.
Absolutely gorgeous, aren't they?
They are.
And to have some of those back from previous collections is lovely, because we don't often see them repeated.
No, we don't. And isn't it lovely, again, that we are that company that goes, well, do you know what? Let us know. We always say to you, don't we, like, let us know if there's something that you want to see or something that you want to see repeated. We can't always promise that we'll do it, but we always listen to the feedback, and if we can, we will. And that's sort of a case in point here. I'll just quickly show you again so you can see the value. I mean... It's that what I've just showed you again. It's huge, huge value for money. Next 31 people, let me turn it that way because it's annoying me. You watch now, these will be fine and the next few will be the wrong way around. The next 31 people get their opportunities.
Yeah.
I love those again because they've got like the
I love the script.
The script and the musical notation on some of these as well. And I just love our papers because the more you kind of look into them, they're multi-layered, aren't they?
Oh gosh,
with design.
every time you look at them. And
you see
I think
something
one
new.
of the things that we overlook is fussy cutting some of those elements out of them to use within your projects. It doesn't have to be a whole sheet of paper. So yeah, sometimes I'll fussy cut some of the pieces out, and then the bit that's left, the background piece, you can use for stamping sentiments on.
That's it.
So yeah, absolutely stunning. The daisies there, delightful daisies.
Yeah.
You can spot them, can't you there?
Absolutely, butterflies there. Yeah. It's the paper pad or the paper box that keeps on giving. What I would say to you as well is, if you are watching today and you're shopping for that crafter in your life, you will not go wrong with this at all. So many people have bought this. Thousands of these sold already. There will be just another 31 before these sell out. Get them today, 30 now, $47.99 or $55.99. Triple points though on top of that, don't forget. So you're talking about 100 and...
So that's nearly 150, isn't
150,
it, on platinum?
Yeah,
almost.
165-ish points if you're in the US and you're platinum. Big gains to be made today. Like Jan said, if you're trying to move up a level within Club Inspire, today's great, but also keeping your platinum status for the next year as we get ready for the reset. So it's a great time for the triple points to come along, no doubt about it. Listen, let's give you opportunity to get your carts and your baskets checked out. Fire any more comments in, any more questions you want to ask us, feel free, and we will come back with some more great deals in about 3 or 4 minutes' time.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for checking out your carts and baskets. If you have just joined us, where you been? You missed the big wheel spin. It was really good today. because Jan span it and it landed on bonus points. We have since found out that we are on triple points today across all the shows, across the website, on everything. So do make sure that you're shopping. You might have come in today thinking, oh, I'm just going to watch, but then when you're thinking triple points, there must be a few bits and pieces that you need in your craft room. Craft room essentials, take advantage of those points today. It ends, that deal, midnight wherever you are, and of course we spin the wheel again tomorrow. Stephanie Theodore says, my third box of papers arrived Saturday from California. Those are my special papers, less than 30 of those now remaining if you want to jump in and grab those. And the weight is 160, Renee was asking for the weight of the papers in that pack. Now, coming up in between, because obviously we've got Jan right now, we've got Jan later on for Monday Makers. Sarah is going to be, Hurricane Sarah will be in. Hope she doesn't blow down the pack shot when she comes in, but she'll be here later on with the fourth of our masterclasses, because we're doing a masterclass each and every single day as part of our 12 days of Craftsmas, and it's all about your scoreboards today. We've got lots and lots of different scoreboards, of course. And actually, when was Sarah in last? On Friday, we were asking, like, what did you want to see? What did you want to find out more about? And lots of people were talking about envelopes and specifically Enveloboxes and how to make them. So we are going to do a little bit with Jan now. I know Sarah has got some demos and ideas up her sleeve as far as that show is concerned, but let's get the details up for the Envelobox creator. Just as a by the by also, if you want to fire anything at me now that you'd like to see Sarah do in that masterclass, feel free to let me know and I'll pass it on to Sarah ahead of that show. I think it's going to be a very kind of you say she'll do kind of show, you know. So let's make it nice and interactive. Whatever you want to see, let's do it. But the Envelobox Creator Scoreboard available for you here. We haven't got huge quantities for you at all. £11.99, $11.96. And I know, Jan, a few people get kind of confused with our various scoreboards because there are quite a few. So this is the Envelobox scoreboard, different, of course, to the enveloper, right?
Yes. Yes, incorporated in your Ultimate Pro, we've got the enveloper, which just has 2 levels on it. So you can make a flat envelope and one that's got a very, very tiny sort of little spine on it. This is actually taking it to the next level, and you can go up to make an Envelobox that is 3/4 of an inch deep. So if you've made a card, for example, that's got the lovely foam flowers on and you've got lots of dimension on it, or those gorgeous domed cards, then this is the one that you want. So yeah, it's got a purpose, even because a lot of people say to me, well, there's one of those in the Ultimate, Jan, you know, why do I need this one? It's sort of like an extension to it. And it locks, you can see it's got those tabs that we're used to, those little notches, which will allow it to fit into your Ultimate if you're wanting to use it alongside it to lock in place. And you've got like another surface to use as well.
Yeah, so it's a really, really handy scoreboard to have. And again, we can chat all around the different scoreboards in the masterclass if you so wish. But let us know what you want to see. And again, we might have a chance to do a few bits during this show for you as well. In fact, should we do an Envelobox now? Is that what you're planning?
Yes, I was going to do a couple actually. I've got my instructions with me. It should come with instructions depending on whether it is in UK measurements or US. If it doesn't, if for any reason it doesn't, if you go to the download section on the website, you can actually download these instructions, which is what I did actually, because I lost my original ones. I don't know where they went. I think they got lost in the craft room move. But I've actually printed this off on my printer from the website, and it gives you, it's sort of a grid to work with. So you've got across the top, this is for the flat envelope. So the first sheet's flat, which is the base of the Envelobox creator. And then I've actually got little steps in here. So I've got 3 more steps here, which will allow me to make a one that has a 1/2 inch depth to it, and a 3/4 inch depth, and an inch. So you can go right up to an inch, as I say, to put those protect those beautiful cards that we do with all the dimension. And then across here, I work in metric, so I work in imperial. I printed the imperial one off with the inches on. So I've got measurements across the top, measurements down the side. So what I've done is I've just grabbed a little 6x4 inch card blank, which we use quite regularly. So I'm going to go across the top here to the 6 inches. And then I'm going to come down the side to the 4 inches here. And where the 2 meet, this is the square that I'm looking at. So down from the 6 inch, and across from the 4. And it tells me that I need a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 inches square. And it also tells me which lines that correspond to the board here. This has actually got from A all the way up to O, little lettering on here, which I can see. I don't know whether it's picking it up on the camera there. Jamie's coming to have a look. You can just see across here, it goes A. Each score line has got a different letter. Let me just see if I can tilt it a bit better for you. Yeah, I can just see it there, yeah? Yeah, so each line, each score line's got a different letter from A all the way up to O. Yeah. So the letters on here, so I was on my D and H, are the 2 lines that I'm going to use. So you're going to do opposite sides. So I'm going to go 2 Ds and 2 H's to make my envelope, because I've got long sides and short sides. If it's a square envelope, just to show you the difference, for example, if we went 5 by 5, you can see the letters are the same. Okay. So you're going to have the same score line on each side to make a square.
And why are there different colours on the grid?
Why are there what, sorry?
Different colours. Why
Good
is it...
question, good question. Yes, you can just see on the top of my instructions here, it says that anything that's in white can be made from a piece of A4 or US letter size. When you get to the blue area, it will need A3 or 12 by 12. Right. And then when we get into the biggies, if I go right to the back page, you can see there's a little section that is in yellow. Yeah. You will need something larger than that. So it will need to be a piece of cardstock that's larger than A3. And or 12 by 12.
And how large are we talking here? Because I know a lot of people ask the size you can go up to.
My local craft store here, one of the big chains that we have here in the UK, sell A2 cardstock, which is double A3. Yeah. So your A4, double A4 is A3. And then when you go to A3, double A3 is A2. And you can buy sheets of coloured card from one of our... So I'm sure that's available to most people. Yeah. So what I've done then is I've taken, first of all, a piece of vellum. This because I've had that gorgeous Bella Luna collection and fell in love with it. So I've actually taken a piece of the vellum out of there first to create a vellum envelope, which I often quite like to do for the cards. And then you can just put like an address label or a piece of decorative paper to put your address on. So I've actually cut this down. If you remember, I said when we looked at the details here, remember we said we wanted 7.5 inches. So the vellum's 8-inch square. I've just cut this down to 7.5. And then all we're going to do, you can see in the envelope box here, you've got that right angle corner. All right. So I'm just going to pick one of my corners and I'm going to work flat. I want a flat envelope for this one. I've taken my instructions for that flat envelope, okay? And I'm literally going to pop this so that that corner is nestled beautifully in there. Yeah. And then it also said that we needed to use lines D and H. So I'm going to start off with D and just get that, and I've got my scoring tool. And again, with it being vellum, just nice and gentle. Don't press too hard because there's a chance that you'll go through your vellum. Yeah. Once you've done that one, I'm going to go right over to the opposite side. So I need to do a complete 180 and do the same again.
Now when you're scoring as well, obviously the score tools have like different sized, not nozzles, not the right word, but is there one that you would use for a certain type of cardstock?
If you notice, I'm actually using the rounded end for this. Yeah, so you've got the scoring tool on this end, but I actually like that rounded end for scoring the vellum. So once I've done my opposite sides, I'm then going to go to the other 2 corners, same position, but this time we're actually going to go to that H. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to come up to that one, make sure that it's nice and snug in here, and we're going to score across that H. Again, nice and gentle with the vellum. And then we're going to do that 180 again. So I'm going to the opposite side and lay it flat. Make sure it's tucked into that corner nicely. And I'm going to do the H. Now, if you've got the lines in the right place, they should just bisect. I've got a little tiny triangle in the corners here. So they've literally just crossed over the original lines that I did. Okay? Yeah. So then I'm going to take my little snips. All right, and where I've got those little tiny triangles, I'm going to use the score line. Yeah. And I'm just going to snip those triangles out. Okay, now Sarah does this at a speed of light. She's so
does.
used to this, you know, she was involved in designing the actual scoreboard with her dad, and she'll do this at the speed of light for you. So
Sarah
yeah,
scissor
they
hands.
are really quick to do. I tend to take my time a little bit more. Okay,
That's
so
it.
just there, take those out. And then once you've taken those 4 little you can just see you've got that notch in there.
Yeah.
All the way round, and then I'm going to turn it this way and just gently ease it along those score lines. So again, with the vellum,
Yeah.
it wants a nice gentle touch. You don't want to break that paper. So again, just look where your score line is. I'm not even going to bring my burnishing tool in for the burnishing. I'm just going to do it with my fingers so that it's not too harsh on the vellum. So yeah, it's sufficient. All right. And then last one there. Perfect.
Lovely.
So you can see we've got the makings. Now I'm going to keep where it's fell with the moon there. I'm going to keep that as my top. All right, so that's going to be the envelope closure. And then all I'm going to do is take my dotty tape pen. If you prefer, you can use your red line tape. But I just want a tiny little bit of adhesive down those short sides. And then I'm going to bring this one together. Give it a little bit of a burnish with your finger or your thumb again, just to get those dots sealed.
Yeah.
Okay, now a lot of people say to me that they don't like the flap in the middle.
No.
So the easy bit with that one is to just fold it inside, level with the rest of it. So you can see where these two have come down. I like to just fold it in. And then once I've done that and I know where it needs to be, again, a few of the dots on there, and you can tuck that on the inside and finish off your envelope.
Very pretty.
So it is as simple as that. And then
Yeah.
wherever, there's my card. That was my 6x4 inch card. You can see there we've got the perfect size to fit your envelope in.
That's
and then what
gorgeous.
I tend to do, because it's not easy to write on the vellum,
Yeah.
I usually do like a little label. So
Okay.
maybe some white cardstock, use my corner rounder to round the 4 corners and have a panel there for you to actually write your address label or, you know, the recipient's name, whatever you're going to do on there. So that was the flat envelope.
Yes.
And then shall we have a look at one of the deeper ones?
Yeah,
as well?
why not?
Yep. Okay, so what I've done this time then is I've taken some cardstock for this. So I had my pastel linen card out and I used the pink earlier. This is the lemon from that same pad. So what I need to do first of all is change my grid. So I'm going to go all the way, let me just double check. I think I went in the middle at the 3/4 of an inch. I will just check my measurements. It was 9 inch square. So we're going to stay with that 6x4 design. So 4 inches by 6 inches. Yeah, it tells me here to cut my piece at 9 inches square. And we're going to use line E and then I.
Okay.
Okay, so E and I. So the difference this time then, just double check, I'm sure I'd cut that, yeah, 9 inches by 9 inches. Okay, so the first score line is going to be pretty much what we did before. It wants to be in the base, in that first little tuck there.
Yeah.
So do you know, my memory is shocking. What do we say? E and I. So I'm going to go with line E first.
I'm like that.
Honestly, I'm
Have something
getting
in
worse
your mind.
as I get
I
older.
know, I know.
I can do something and then literally 2 seconds later it's just floated away.
Yeah.
So yeah, E first. So I'm going to go on line E, again, nice and gentle. I'd rather score 2 or 3 times than go in heavy and crack the cardstock. And then I want to jump into that middle position.
Yeah.
So the first position would be the 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
The middle is the 3/4 of an inch.
Yeah.
And this one would be the whole inch. So because we're going 3/4, I'm going to jump into that middle track. Okay. There is also, if your cardstock's long enough, you've also got a support at this end to make sure it's straight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that same line. So I'm going to score at D again. Okay. And
Good job you remembered, because I've forgotten already again.
created me 2 parallel lines now that are 3/4 of an inch apart.
Yeah.
So then again, exactly the same, 180 degrees.
Yeah.
And we're going to go D, so on the flat level, and then I'm going to lift it up into that second track, make sure it's nice and straight, and D again. Something not right there. What did I do? Let me just double check, because that
Okay.
looked wider than that one. I went from there, on line. Oh, that's because I've used line E. My apologies, it wanted to be D.
Oh, E and
That's
D.
why it looked wider, yeah.
Yeah.
And then this side, so this side was actually right. It threw me because I thought that's a bigger gap than what I've got at the other side. There we go. And then again, we're going to do the other two corners. So that was line I. So the first one's always on the flat of the board. So line I is that one. And again, you'll find if you're in the right place, it's creating that little triangle here again. It's going to bisect that line that I've done on the other side. So I, and then it's going to come up into that second track again, and then I again.
You know, when you're making these envelope boxes, is there like a minimum GSM you'd use as well?
I would stay lighter rather than heavier, so I don't think I would go for such as my 300 GSM cardstock. The paper pads are brilliant for it. That box that you've just had on, Ben, that would lend itself beautifully to making envelopes, yeah. So any of the paper pads, this is the linen cardstock again, so up to about 180, I would say. If you get much heavier than that, it starts making it more difficult to fold and it becomes a bit more, maybe for the deep boxes, but certainly for a flat envelope, I wouldn't go too high.
Okay.
So again, I'm just going to fold this one first to show you where those little lines cross, and just very, very gently burnish. And then I've got a line that is 3/4 of an inch further down and burnish. Same on this side. We've got the first one and the second one. Because I'm onto cardstock now, I'm just going to give it a quick burnish with the tool. Then we've got the inside one, the outside one, burnish, burnish.
Yeah.
And then this is the one that I did wrong, so I just need to make sure I get the right line there. We need that one.
Whilst we're watching you as well, quick question from Linda's, just asking, so you made the envelope out of vellum. She's just saying, curious about that. Would that be too thin to send in the mail, the vellum?
I've mailed them before now, yeah. And if you're really concerned about it getting damaged, then you could pop it inside a larger plain envelope or one of the little padded packs. But yeah, I've actually put these through the mail.
Okay.
I asked my hubby, because he used to work for our mail system, and he said, yeah, as long as it's all sealed up properly, it should be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see now where we've got the same concept with the two sides, and we've got the concept where this one folds up. Yeah? But we've got that spine in there that's got that 3/4 of an inch depth on. Now I need to do a little bit of cutting again. This is why it wouldn't quite fold up properly to show you. So you'll see here in the corners, you can just see where we've got that overlap again here. Now, the choices with this, you can either cut the whole thing away.
Yeah.
So I'll do that on one side and show you the difference. So the whole triangle where those lines cross, I'll do that on one side. So I'm going from that vertical line to the inside on the other one and taking the whole triangle away. Yep. On this side, I'm going to cut down the longest piece, down the shortest one, and then I'm just going to take the little triangle away and then make this one into a tab, a little glue tab for it. So again, we'll do that again. I'm going down the longest one here to the cross line.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the little triangle out of this one, which is what we created when we made the flat envelope. Yep. And cut it all the way. There we go. Take that little piece out.
Oh, yeah. Teeny tiny.
Do you know, it's resisting, that one.
I know. Get out.
And then again, I'm just going to take a little bit off that one. And what I've done now is I've created a little tiny glue tab that we can seal the base of the box with. So a little bit like when we make boxes, you can see how I've got a tab that I can stick this together now. Okay, so if I just use a bit of my tacky glue there just to show you. So I tend to do this on the bottom.
Yeah.
So that if you're putting something in there, obviously it's sealed nicely at the bottom. And to be honest, these are more cards I think that you would actually hand present. I think to send something like this in the mail, it would need to have some extra packaging around it to stop it sort of being squished. Okay, so again, I'm just going to pop those two little glue tabs, just as if you're making a box.
Yeah.
Okay, at the base there. And then you can see now how we've got the means to bring this in together.
Perfect.
So again, if I just pop, because I've already got part of it together, I'm just going to put a line of wet glue down either side. The red line tape works perfectly for this.
Oh yeah.
And what you want to do is just make sure that you've got a nice smooth right angle there, okay? And again, just give that tacky glue a chance to grab. And then the same at this side, make sure you've got that nice angle. It's just come undone again now, look. It just needs time for that glue to grab in place there. All right, so you can see we've got the basis now. Okay. There we go. That one doesn't want to stick for some reason. There we are. Now at the top, because I've cut those little tabs away, you've just got that basic fold.
Yeah.
So if you want to leave the tabs on all four sides, they will tuck in now. But again, you've got the same envelope, just that little tiny bit bigger because it's encompassing the depth.
Yeah.
And then you've got that gorgeous depth there. So that was the 3/4 inch. Bearing in mind it goes up to an inch, so it will go deeper than that. As I say, those of you that like to make the domed cards, or if you're using, I know particularly the foam flowers and things like that, it just protects them rather than trying to squeeze it up. Well, you couldn't squeeze them into a flat envelope, it would damage them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's such a simple idea. I wouldn't have known where to start designing this. All those angles and everything have been worked out for you, and it just makes it much, much more simple to create. If you're making standard size cards, so your 6x4s, your 7x5s, 6x6s, however you want to do it, this one goes up in imperial measurements from 8 inch to 8 inch. So if you've got an 8x8 inch card, you would need that larger cardstock for this depth one, 13.5 inches square. Okay, if you were doing the flat one, you can get this out of a piece of A3 at 11 5/8 square. So yeah, those dimensions will allow you to go up to 8 inches by 8 inches. Honestly, it's never far away from my desk. If I'm making, I like to make the envelopes to match the cards. If you've made a handmade card, I think it's really nice to have a handmade envelope to go with it, possibly picking up some of the patterns. If you've used patterns in the card, you can, like I say, I like to use this, possibly pattern paper for the card and then use the vellum to make the envelope with. Just real nice combination.
It's lovely to do, isn't it? And I think sometimes we forget how much we can do with an envelope. The poor old envelope gets forgotten about, you know, the card gets all of the treatment and then we end up, you know, popping it in a white envelope. But when you've got, you know, a tool like this, it means that you can construct and make your own envelopes. And I think it was you, Rosalind, I know you're watching, I'm sure you said the other day, since you've got, you know, the Envelobox, the enveloper, all of these things that allow you to make your own envelopes, you can't remember the last time that you actually bought an envelope. You know?
Yeah, I just think it's a nice finishing touch when you've taken the time to make a handcrafted card. It's just a nice finish. I like linking my cards anyway. You know that I often make the insides for the cards, but then to link the envelope as well. It's just all part and parcel of it. It becomes a gift, I think, more so than just a card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you know, if you are making a beautiful envelope out of your gorgeous papers and posting it, the recipient knows it's not a bill.
Yes, very
true. Do you know
true.
what I mean?
Yep.
It's not going to be the water bill, is it?
It's not going on that pile that you open a few days later.
If you want the Envelobox Creator Scoreboard, though, it's $11.99 or $11.96. Coming up in the masterclass for you later on, we have got the Ultimate available for you in both the US and the UK configurations, and we've also got the Big Score coming up later on too. Have a look ahead at the masterclass where we are going to be concentrating on all things scoring. If you've got any questions, fire them in. And if there's anything you want to see us do, let us know. We will do our very best to do those things for you. Rosalind says, I ended up using a black Sharpie to highlight the letters on all of the boards I have. Eyesight's not what it used to be. I know the feeling. And Liz Donlan says, I wish Jan was on Crafters TV more often, as her teaching is so good. I can't believe that I've never made an envelope out of vellum. Guess what I will be doing this afternoon?
It's a great way, because a lot of our collections come with the 8-inch vellum now, 8-inch square vellum. So it's a great way to sort of incorporate them and just have that extra touch. If you've used sort of the matching paper on the card, pick out the vellum and do the envelope in the vellum,
If you want to also make the vellum envelope, you will need the Bella Luna vellum, which Jan was showing you. That comes in the Bella Luna paper collection. You're going to get 24 sheets in there, which match up beautifully with the 24 sheets that you're going to get in your 12 by 12 pad. Actually 36 double-sided sheets, I should say, just to show you this. For me, one of the best paper pads that we've brought to you here on Crafters TV this year. The Bella Luna is absolutely
stunning. Is it the colour palette, the design, the theme of it, everything is just beautiful.
It's very...
It's one of those that you need two pads because you need one just to look at and stroke and the other one to actually physically cut into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very, for me, very... sends me into almost like a dreamlike state.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, you know, like that scene there.
It's all those places that are on your bucket list, isn't it, that you'd like to go and see. Just go and sit like that and see the ocean in the moonlight.
But it is just... You guys will have seen this, I'm sure. Grab it. I mean, look at that, for goodness sake. Just stick me there in that rowboat.
Yep. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's
absolutely stunning. And again, just to flick it around, because I feel like we're not really showing you the B track here as well. The B tracks are just as good on this pad. If you've already bought this, take the opportunity that we have still got it in stock to jump in and grab more whilst we do still have it. So you're going to get this beautiful, beautiful 12 by... Look at that one again. That's like something out of the movies, that one, isn't it? Like E.T. When he lands in the forest in his spaceship. So that reminds me of.
I think that's the one we're going to use, actually. Yeah, in my demo, I chose that one. It's lovely.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, that's what I mean. You can see him. Well, E.T. didn't ride the bike, did he? He was in the basket. But I know what you mean. Yeah, but across the moon. That was a bit scary, that, wasn't it? Sorry about that, everybody.
E.T. meets the Gremlins.
Yeah. Not quite sure what happened there. So there's your 12 by 12. Done your vellum. The 6 by 6 again is the shrunken down version of your 12 by 12, and then your luxury linen cardstock. We're doing this so brilliantly at the minute, bringing you luxury linen cardstock to go with all of the collections, because it just makes it so much easier for you, doesn't it? When you've got the actual matching cardstock in the perfect colour to go with all of your papers and vellums. If you've got the linen in the bundle to already do it, then, you know, so much the better. And our linen cardstock is absolutely gorgeous. 8 colours, 3 of each in that gorgeous, gorgeous linen textured effect. All of that is £32.80 or £44.80. Triple points on everything as well today, of course. So you're looking at, I mean, rounding that up, about 98 points if you're here in the UK and you're platinum. If you're in the US, about 134 points you'll be picking up. Really, really great day to be shopping and moving up that level within Club Inspire. Now, next one to show you, I haven't just spotted. So I'm going to show you the stamping platform. You get the magnetic base as well. This is, yeah, this one hasn't got the base with it, but you will get the base. So it's the one that we've been seeing. Jan's got it over there. You know the one. So this is the platform. You're going to get the base with yours as well. It's honestly in... Well, let's ask Jan quickly. So every time we have the stamping platform 8x8 with magnetic base, I always say it's in you guys, definitely top 5, possibly top 3 items. Is that the same for you?
It's my number 1.
There you go.
Number 1. My glass mat used to be in top place for a very long time. You'll have heard me talk about how much I use the glass mat. But then when we brought out that magnetic base stamping platform, this sadly went into number 2 position. And my stamping platform, honestly, when I was working at the store, for those of you that aren't aware, before I came onto the Crafters TV team, both Debbie Robinson and I used to work at the Chesterfield retail store, and we used to teach. And so many people, it used to break my heart, because I'm rubbish at stamping, Jan. There's no point in me coming to that class because I'm rubbish at it. And I would always say to people, it's not you, it's the product. You hear me talk constantly about having something that is sort of fit for purpose. And just having that magnetic base and being able to overstamp if you don't quite get it right first time, it was a game changer. And even now, if I'm just stamping out those little sentiments that you saw earlier, you saw me with these earlier, if I just pulled a couple of those off, got, I still use my stamping platform at home purely because you've got that insurance that if you don't quite press it down properly and it misses a bit, invariably the ink's still on the stamp, go again, it's all lined up, you've got confidence that it will just overstamp and your job's done.
Yeah, and also if you like to use those layering stamps, it's perfect. If you're a batch maker, perfect. And do you remember those stamps that we did a while back where they were the ones that you rotated 90 degrees?
Oh gosh, yes.
The kaleidoscope.
Yeah, the rotation, they were like a rotation one, weren't they, to make the wreaths and things like that.
So again, absolutely perfect for that. But honestly, it's like the Academy of Colour, for example. People go, oh, I can't colour, I'm useless at colouring. And then they do the Academy of Colour and they're like, oh,
it's
this
about
has
having
changed
right
my life.
product for the job.
Yeah.
And it just totally changed the way people thought about stamping, and it's enabled so many people to get results now that, to me, as I say, it's worthy of #1 on my list of core products.
Yeah. As I say, with the Academy of Colour, the amount of people who said to me, it's changed my colouring life. It's the same with this on the comments. The amount of people who go, it's changed the way that I stamp and it's made me become, you know, happy with stamping again. That's why you need to jump in and grab it. You'll get the magnetic base with yours. We'll also give you a bottle of our stamp cleaning solution, and then you think to yourself, it'd be quite nice if I had the station to go with it. That'd be quite handy, wouldn't it? Well, you can have it for free. Yeah, we're going to throw that in for free within the bundle. It's so good, this. It's such a great system. You might be one of those people that, you know, doesn't clean your stamp. But if you don't...
I'm on it, Ben. Oh, you've got one.
Oh, yeah.
Where did you magic that from?
Oh, it was up my sleeve.
I was just going to come across with one for you there. And there we go, just magic it out thin air.
I did.
You did?
Well, if you saw my magic tricks last week, you will know that I am Mr. Magic. Really, really easy. Use your spray in conjunction with your stamp, whether you spray your base here and then pop your stamp on, or spray your stamp and pop it onto your base. You're going to clean it this side. This comes out as well, actually, so when that does get dirty, you can clean that itself. Then you're going to dry it on this side. Even, I'll name and shame him again, even our Craig, who says, you know, he's not particularly good at cleaning his stamps, even he uses this
I was just going to add, if any of you follow Craig on YouTube, which I do, I watch, we watch each other. I watch a lot of Craig's videos. I've been watching this week now. He started opening the calendar, but he uses this regularly in his tutorials because I like the way he works, where he sort of cleans up as he goes along within the tutorial. And he often will use the stamp and the stamp cleaner to clean his stamps off and pop them back away while he's working. Yeah.
I'm a bit like that in general, though, as well. I'm like that with cooking. I was cooking yesterday. When I cook, I like to clean up as I go along.
As you go along, so that you've not got a big tower of it at the end of the day. Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Cleanliness is next to godliness, or something like that, isn't it?
My husband's the cook and I'm the pot washer, so yeah, I'm usually busy washing up while he's busy cooking.
I do it all when I'm cooking. When I'm allowed to cook, not often do I. Am I allowed to pop into the kitchen? But I made some soup yesterday after the snowball extravaganza. What sort of soup? I did a potato and leek soup.
Oh, very nice.
It just felt like that kind of day yesterday.
I was just going to say very seasonal, yes. Yes.
It was very, very nice. Hi to Betty, who's joined us saying beautiful demos on envelope making, Jan. Also, hi to Hannah, who says, how often everybody full of cold and still in bed at the moment. It's doing the rounds, isn't it? All these
she was poorly the other day
things.
when she messaged in as well, yeah.
Oh, dear. I know who else was it who said she was ill. Christine, if you're not feeling great, we're both a little bit under the weather. I've got a bit of, I've got an ear infection, so I'm feeling a little bit wobbly,
aren't you?
Today.
Yeah, a bit wobbly. We put a mat down there in case you fall, Ben. You're all right.
Can you imagine? Yeah, if at any point the camera comes back to me,
it's safe. We've got a nice mat for him to fall on.
I'm fine.
Yeah, don't fall to your right, Ben, so that you don't collide with the pack shot.
Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Just a quick one on these, because you guys have seen these ad infinitum over the course of the last few weeks. They're still in stock, our refill glue tape pens. 12-piece bumper pack. For those of you that keep asking, these will be available, Sarah mentioned, in the new year in smaller configurations for you, so you won't always have to buy the big 12-pack. However, they're brilliant, aren't they? You've got all of your tape pens, all of your glue tape, Dotty tape pens in here, of course, as well. They are now refillable and 36% longer. You're going to get on a roll 30 metres on each. Handy as well for the fact that they're now different colours, because how many times have you picked up one of the old ones and got the wrong one.
I think that's made it just something so simple, but made a massive difference to grabbing the right tape pen.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't matter so much if you grab the dotty, because that will work, but if you grab the
double-sided when you're doing the die cuts, not good.
And they're super duper brilliant for the fact that they're now, I think, even more ergonomically designed. Johnny came up, the old ones look like a little mouse. Johnny thinks that looks like a duck's head.
Right, yeah, I can see that with a little white beak.
Little white beak, yeah. It holds quite nicely for you again.
Yeah.
You've also, because a lot of you are thinking, where's the cap gone? Well, you don't need a cap anymore in this because you've just got that little.
Which is good, because the cap always used to fall off in your bag, and then you could never find it, and then your tape pen was stuck to something else. So it's all been upgraded. All by the feedback, hasn't it, that we've had from the customers?
That's it. And again, when you want to change these, you've got a little squeezy point there, so you're just going to squeeze to take the top off, and then they just clip apart. If I can get my nails in, there you go. So you're going to replace this end here, because this is the one that will go eventually. And you know what I love about this as well, and it happened a couple of times when Sarah was using it, if the tape ever snags and kind of like spools out a bit, on the old one there's nothing you could do.
But now you can get inside.
It's like going back to the 80s.
Do you remember with the cassette tapes and the pencil?
Yes! So you can solve that problem.
Jamie won't be old enough to know that. It's like, what's a cassette tape, isn't it? Yeah, but you used to put the pencil inside it to rewind the tape back into it. I remember that. Have you had a cassette,
Have you had a cassette, Jamie?
Bless him.
He has.
He's a baby.
He is a little baby. Baby Jamie. Is that what I showed my kids a while back, a VHS, a videotape? They were like, what is that? It's like how we used to get our entertainment back in the day, kids. But that is your bundle there. $35.99, $50.39 is your platinum price. Remember, today's the day to be stocking up on these bad boys, because you're going to get your triple points as well. So that is in effect. Quick maths, Ben, about 105 points you're going to be picking up. 150 if you're shopping in the US and your platinum. Triple points all day today, right across the day, right across all the shows, right across the website for you too. So even if you're sort of coming in today thinking, I wasn't going to buy anything, if there's something that you need, if there is an item for your craft room, if there's more cardstock, more adhesives, whatever it is definitely worth having a little bit of a shop today and picking up those points to help you either maintain that platinum status into 2024 or indeed get up a band. Really, really simple to do today with those triple points. We'll come back in about 3 or 4 minutes time. We're going to go to the checkouts right now, get to the checkouts, check out those deals, and we'll see you back here in about 3 or 4 minutes.
Many of our viewers bring up time and time again, and that's our wax seal gate.
Thinking, Joe, it might not work as well because I've put too much. Oh, I've forgotten to put me thing in place. Because I have a way of words that I think that doesn't engage with that and can come out all wrong. Water.
That wasn't the one you just washed your brush in, was it?
Sorry. Yes, but it doesn't matter.
No, it wasn't, was it? It was. Are you kidding?
I'm going to have to say, it's a slip of the tongue. I'm going to say it's maybe to do with my Scottish accent. I'm maybe going to say it's because of Mr. Ben Moseby. He is, well, yeah, he doesn't help matters.
I've made pots that have exploded when I fired them. I've done zips in inside out. It happens to everybody.
We've all spilt our glitter all over our project or knocked the water over.
You're right.
I've just noticed I've got my dress on inside out.
So I was messing about doing some backgrounds with the sparkling, took the lid off it and managed to catch the pot somehow, and the whole thing came towards me, down my front, across my lap, onto the floor.
I went to reach for the water and, do the tapping with and so there was less tapping and more sort of a tsunami. I've got some.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What did she do?
Exactly
What
how
did she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for all the lovely comments coming through. Lillian says, Ben, you look great, 10 years younger after the beer chip. I wish I was 10 years younger, but thank you, Lillian. You can come again. And Sensational Sky Jotti says, Ben, I love that photo of your dog over the weekend. Looks like she's flying. Yeah, Molly came out in the snow with us yesterday. She loves a snowball, does Molly, and that picture I took, I sort of chucked one up in the air, and it does literally look like she's super dog. I was telling Jan before the show as well, because we took the sledge out, and she loves fetching stuff and grabbing stuff, and she grabbed the edge of the sledge, and she was pulling Daisy down the hill, and then every time we got to the bottom of the hill, she was grabbing the sledge and taking it back up again, bless her.
That was very helpful.
It was very helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah. The only slight problem was when we were going down the hill, she was then trying to like jump in and grab that. You know, get out of the way! Like trying not to mow her down. Bless her little cotton socks. Hi to Hannah, who says, I normally just use standard white envelopes. Last week I made 2 matching envelopes for the cards I was giving, and it really made me feel so much more proud of what I was giving.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also hi to Betty Weaver, who says, beautiful demos on envelope making. Jan. We're going to have a look at the Bella Luna collection. So we showed you the papers just a few moments ago, but we have got the Essentials 11-piece collection for you as well. I know Jan's going to do a demo with this in just a few moments' time. There's loads in here. Apologies, no boards to show you, but I can show you the actual product so that we can whiz through this. First item that you're going to get in this set is your landscape builder. So it is your 8x8 stencil, where you've got all of these different items that you can use to, well, essentially build up that landscape. So it's not a stencil that you're going to be using as is, if you see what I mean. You're going to be using all of these different elements here to create that landscape. And isn't it brilliant again that, you know, we've got the rolling hills, we've got the kind of trees in foreground and midground. It is a brilliant stencil for you to be able to create your own background to then sort of put the main players into. Talking of the main players, you have got that beautiful wolf, stamp and die. You've also got in here a hare's tail. So the 2 little, well, hares obviously.
I was waiting for the sound effects then. I'm like, what's he going to do for the hair? Oh yeah, here we go.
And you got the dolphins. Jan, that was brilliant. Do that again. What's that, Skippy? Old man Smithers has fallen down the mine shaft.
Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, this one. Oh, dear me eyes. Your floral crescent, so that's a really, really beautiful stamp and die set. You've also got in here, this is the one that was on that card that you showed earlier on. It's called Full Moon. So
yeah, it's
the die, which the stamp that comes with them is on here, where you can sit the couple inside that gorgeous die cut. So you get the couple in stamp form there, and you get a whole host of different sentiments as well. Things like Shine Bright, Wish Upon a Star, and also you are more precious than all the stars in the sky.
Oh, thanks, Ben.
No, thank you. You're also going to get a beautiful crescent moon die, and then you get all of the little sort of embellishments to go with it that you can wrap around your moon. More stamps in this one as well, so you've got that beautiful forest scene there with the moon, and sentiments include never stop chasing moonbeams, to the moon and back, magical moonlight, and we all go through phases but continue to shine. Very positive and uplifting collection, this, isn't it? you're also going to get the little girl on the swing there as well, which is stamps and dies. And then you've also got a beautiful embossing folder included too, which is called Dusk Till Dawn. So it's a comprehensive set. I mean, fantastic. If you've not yet picked this up and you can go for this set alongside those papers, you're just going to be absolutely quids in. $58.40 or $76 if you're a platinum member. Oh, brain's hurting now. It's about 100 and... How many points is that? About 170 odd, isn't it?
140, 152, 192, 198 dollars.
In dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
98, yeah. Yeah, it's lots.
It's lots. It's definitely lots. It's definitely enough to get you to the next level, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or like you said, retain your platinum level for next year. Yeah.
What are you going to be using in the demo?
Right, so I've kept this one fairly simple, but if you can tune in at 6 o'clock for Monday Makers, we're going to use this collection and I'm going to use some of the other elements as well, including how to use that big stencil that you showed there.
Yes.
We're going to incorporate that with one of the stamps. But just for this one, I have Leanne in my head when we're looking at the papers, because they are so beautiful, and I know Leanne will often say, you know, don't overlook the papers, and because so many of these are like scenes, you don't really need to do an awful lot more to them. So I actually went for this. I love this one with the forest there. I thought for the little hares, which we're going to bring in the stamp with the hare's tail, I thought it was perfect. So I've used one of the 6x6 sheets. You've got the moon, that lovely large moon in the background there, and then you've got all the forestry in the front. So yeah, don't overlook them as a, you know, as a tool as part of your design. The reverse of them, you know, if you wanted a little bit more freedom to work with, you can use the reverse. It's very much like the background of the other side, but you've got a little bit less going on in the foreground. So I've taken a sheet of that, and what I've done is I've created my mats and layers, but as you can see, we've got a piece missing out of the middle. So this was originally that piece of paper there. You can see this here. And I'll show you what I've done with the centre of it as we go through the demo. Okay. So it's just a 7-inch square, this one, because I wanted to use as much of that paper as I can. Now, when I came to mat and layer, you can see that the whole middle's missing out of this. I've got some of that beautiful heather linen cardstock from the collection. But when I popped the paper against the heather, there wasn't a massive amount of contrast, so I've just used some cream card from my stash, just plain cream, and put that tiny little border to just elevate it from the background so that you can see the two layers. Okay. And then the piece that I've cut out of the middle, I did with my paper trimmer. Now, for those of you that were watching last week, we showed you how easy that was to do with the paper trimmer. And I've cut out the centre, so you can see this was the piece that's come out of the middle here, which makes that scene complete. And just by adding that little bit of cream cardstock, it's given me sufficient to make another layer. And then that lovely crescent moon, in here you've got those gorgeous little dies to make the vines. So I've just cut a couple of those in the green and just added them as an embellishment down the side there. I've stamped out my sentiment, and I've also added some to wind around the sentiment there, just to keep it all in theme, in theme. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stamp out those little hairs and just add a bit of colour to the front of the scene. So I have got my stamping platform. Like I said, this is in position number 1. This is in position number 2. Believe it or not, my guillotine's in position number 3. And I hate to admit it, but my Gemini is in position 4.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, purely because I use this lot such a lot. I don't always use my Gemini.
So what was 1?
Number 1's the platform. 2's the glass mat.
3 the guillotine.
3 would be the guillotine. Number 4, my die cutting machines. I'll group them all together because I don't always die cut with every project, yeah? You know that I love my stamping and colouring, so yeah, that sort of tends to come, although I hate to admit it.
It's not a bad top 4 though. If you've got the Gemini 2 at number 4, you know it's a good top 3.
So, got the little stamp there. You can just see the little photopolymer stamp, and you've also got the metalwork to cut out round it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pop this on a piece of spare card. This is smooth multi-purpose cardstock, or alternatively you can use your Nina cardstock, or you can use watercolour. It depends on your colouring medium. Now you know that again my go-to is my alcohol. So I've chosen the smooth surface stamping card, and I'm also on that note going to choose a stamping ink that's alcohol proof. So it's got my alcohol marker on. Because we're doing that sort of nature and the hairs and everything, and I'm going to use a brown shade to colour the hairs, I'm going to use the brown, so this is Pebble, in the alcohol proof ink. So I'm going to use that to stamp my line art, just so that it all tones in nicely and that black line art's not so harsh. You know, sometimes it can be a bit harsh with what else you're doing. So for actually stamping line art, I don't very often use the black, I must admit. It's usually, you know that my number one's the flagstone. But you can see there, you know, just transferring that ink, just give it all a good press and just look, aren't they adorable? Just adorable. So what we're going to do then is take those out. Now again, there's a very different school of thought as to what point you die cut. So whether you want to die cut before you do your colouring, just in case you have a die cut mishap, you can see that this fits round the whole image, and you can die cut that out through your machine. Now I tend to use the little die cuts like this through my Mini. I have my Mini at the side of me. You know, well, it sits on top of my original machine, and anything like this I'd just pull that down to cut. And then all I've done is taken just a couple of colours from my tri-blends. This one's brown grey, and I've used that for the bulk of the hairs. So again, I don't want to sort of create a massive colouring exercise if that's not what you're into.
No.
But again, just adding that little bit of colour. If you want to start and do some shading, you can. We talked about this the other day. If you're at a stage where you're doing your, I call it flat colouring or block colouring, you know, you can see that there's enough detail on the stamp there to just leave it at this level if that's what you wish to do.
But do have a go with it, because as I've said, I've been doing some tri-blend colouring. Craig, a while back, told me to have a go on a show, and I did. And once you get it in your mind, how the pens work, it does become quite an exciting thing to have a go at. I
tend to use the shading on the stamp, and Sheena's brilliant at this. But with Sheena being an artist and a crafter, I know I've got quite a lot of Sheena stamps, and they always have those, that you know, what I call cross-hatching in the place. So all you need to do really is just add your darker shades where we've got that on the line art itself. And that might be all you need to do. You don't need to add a lot of different, you know, sort of shading. That might be it. And then at the bottom, you can either leave this as the stamped image, or I took one of my green pens and just added over the top of the ink a little bit of green, just to bring in, you know, a bit more colour at the bottom there. So I literally just dabbed it on over the top of that stamping ink. And this is why it's crucial to make sure you've got the right ink to stamp with so that it doesn't start bleeding. I'm not going to do the whole thing. Use the die to cut them out. And here's the little guys when they're finished. You can see there. Now I've just gone round the edge of it with a little bit of sandstone ink to take that harsh white edge off it. I know some people don't like the white edge when you use a die and prefer to fussy cut. That's absolutely fine. But because we were going on to that darker sort of background here, I wanted to just take the edge off it. So I've just used one of my sponge applicators and just a little bit of that sandstone ink, and it blends just that little bit better with the scene. So that's where we're heading with it. But before we start sticking everything, well, I'm going to stick the background down with my all-purpose glue. So this one's cardstock to cardstock again. I'm not worried that there's all those layers being hollowed out of the middle. You know, make your cardstock go as far as you can. You know, don't waste it under a matte layer if you don't need to. You know, it's sort of, I always take the centres out, and you'll see where I've actually popped a little piece of the scrap on the inside just to link it together. So this one's going to go first. And then you've heard me talk quite often. If you watch me regularly, you'll know that I've talked about using the foam. If I've got a lot, because I wanted to raise this layer on foam, rather than using lots and lots of foam pads, I've just cut a piece of our white foam. So it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. I'm going to swap glues for this one because the tacky glue covers lots of different surfaces. I'm actually going to use my tacky glue for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this in the gap. So where I've cut out that hollow in the centre, this will actually fit in here.
Okay.
And again, the beauty of the wet glue means you can slide everything into place. And then it's just going to elevate that slightly off the card. As I say, not a lot. I didn't want it to be raised up, you know, massively. But now we can actually pop out. And I'm staying with the tacky glue because I'm working onto that foam.
Yeah.
Tacky glue is really good for anything that's not paper and card.
Yes.
You know, any embellishments that you've got, wooden, metal, anything like that. So with it being the foam, I'm literally just going to continue with that tacky glue there. So we've just got about 1/8 of an inch depth. It's just enough. I can see here with the studio lights over it to just create like a little shadow around the edge. It just adds that bit of perspective. And then I've put some tape along the bottom of my piece here. Here comes the red line tape again.
Here
I said
it
that
is.
I used, yeah, I always do. I use it all the time. This is a little bit of the foam that was left over. So I'm just going to add a bit of glue. Here come the tweezers again. You know, they're like an extension of my arm. And I've put the foam to rest against here because I'd raised this bit. So I want to pop them down at the bottom there and just push it so that that foam rests against that layer, like so. And then this one is here again. Honestly, I get through reels and reels and reels of it, as you can imagine. This one's going to go at the top there.
Beautiful.
Like so. So it's got those little vines. Out come the gems.
Yeah.
It's not a Jan car without the gems. They've always got to have the gems on there. And then inside, I'd just use a few of the offcuts of the heather and the cream. And then I've stamped another piece of smooth card. Just pop those little hairs in the bottom there and just all I've done is just one layer of the lightest shade. I haven't done any shading on those, just to add a bit of colour. And again, because we're coming back to the cardstock to cardstock, we're back to that colour all-purpose, and I'm just going to put this in. A, for strength,
okay,
so that it helps to balance your card, and B, you've got a nice little sort of link to the outside of the card and somewhere to pop your message there as well. So that one's going to go on the inside. You could pop another greeting in there if you want. There are some beautiful greetings in this particular set.
There are.
But you can just see there that that inside links to the outside, and I just wanted that paper to do much of the talking there.
Yeah.
You know, not done an awful lot to it other than sort of layer it up. But yeah, those backgrounds are beautiful, so why not use them?
Difference as well, having that central point like lifted out just slightly.
It's just that little bit, and
Yeah.
as I say, by cutting it out of the centre of your piece, it doesn't waste 2 pieces of that precious paper. Use your trimmer, if you've got your trimmer, to do that internal cut, and then just by popping that little bit of cream behind it, it's covered the gap where we've cut it out of. Nobody would ever know that there was a piece missing from underneath.
Shaddai says the Bella Luna collection is the collection of the year. Love, love, and love. Sandra Dundas, I adore the Bella Luna collection. And Shaddai says, I'm like you, Nana Jan, stamping platform, glass mat, scissors, and then Mac. Then Mac. Oh, Matt. Matt.
Who's Mac?
Who's Mac? Mac and cheese.
The Matt.
Matt. And Hannah says, Jan's cards are always so classy. Always classy, but yet like always very easy to follow.
Very achievable,
Yeah, very
it is
achievable.
literally just, I always start with my focal point. So I knew I wanted to use the little hairs on here, and I knew I wanted to use a piece of that background paper. The rest of it sort of comes together just to link the 2 pieces together. So to link the stamp with the background paper, the rest of it just literally was like a joining sort of procedure.
Yeah. Jan always makes it very achievable. As you'll know, this guy started crafting thanks to Jan. Bashed out a load of craft
ago
alongs.
now, doesn't it?
Does seem a long time ago.
Our first craft along that we did together is, can I craft along?
Yeah.
I was like, of course you can craft along. And yeah, you used to have your own little pack, didn't you? You used to bring him his own little pack to craft along with. Yeah. And yeah, that just seems, it must be 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it must be.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point, I, you know, so confident, I was just, there's the cardstock,
it, doesn't need
off
me
you
anymore.
go.
That's the whole idea.
See? And I always say, if this guy can do it, like on live TV, then anybody can do it. I just have fun. I would say just don't worry about things.
It should be fun.
Enjoy the process.
If it stresses you out, there's something not right.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Enjoy the process. Have fun with it. And with a collection like this, how can you not have fun? £58.40 or $76 for the Essentials selection. So we're going to see this, I think Jan said a little bit later on, the stencil in action.
I've got another couple of demos if we can fit it all in later on tonight.
So that's Monday Makers tonight from 6. That's 1 o'clock Eastern in 10 a.m. Pacific. Got a gorgeous embossing folder you're going to be getting in this bundle too. There's the hairs, all right? So if you want to get the collection, recreate Jan's card, those are the stamps and dies that you're going to be wanting. You might have to be quick as well because this Bella Luna collection proving very popular. It's here today, gone tomorrow. All right, Jamie. By the way, it might not be gone tomorrow. I don't want to panic you into buying. Just needed to get the gag in there. There's the wolf stamp and die. You might want to buy this now. You've also got the moon gazing stamp and die, which is the little girl stood up on the swing. There's just so many beautiful characters, I'd like to call them, that you can use with this collection to create such gorgeous scenes with. Then you've got stamps. Again, as Jan was saying, some really, really uplifting, beautiful sentiments in here. Things like to the moon and back. We all go through phases, but continue to shine. And then you've got gorgeous. What I like about this as well, and Sheena, I think, does this brilliantly with her collections. Like that stamp, for example, there, would, I think, work beautifully just printed onto an insert. So you can kind of then match up the insert with the outside of the card.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think she does that really, really well in her collections. And remember, all of this, inspired by, created by the lovely Sheena. I mean, it is just such a fantastic collection. There's that moon with the vines. Then you're going to get another stamp set. That's with the couple there sat together under the tree. Love you, shine bright, and you light up the dark. Oh, there's that die, which will work perfectly with the couple that I've just shown you there in stamp form. You've got your floral crescent stamp and die, and then also let's not forget the dolphin dreams as well that you're also going to get in stamp and die form. £58.40, $76 is your platinum price. Saving over 10%. Remember, triple points on everything today as well if you want to pick that up. And if you love the idea of the cardstock as well, then of course you can pick that up in an individual bundle, which I showed you just a few moments ago. Spectacular card, Jan, says Mary and Rosie. We are now going to do the vote, maybe? The vote is what we're going to do. Better get that in. We've only got 8 minutes to go. Line them up then, Jan. Line them up.
So there's just the 2 finished samples because we had a look at the Envelobox creator as well, didn't we? So we started at the top of the show with those beautiful lace creator cards, and you can just see how we've layered them there and added that little bit of mirror card in the centre. Okay, so that was number 1. And then number 2, we've got the one that we've just finished there with that beautiful Bella Luna collection. So the little hares in the forest, showcasing those gorgeous papers, and then just linking the inside there. So 1 or 2?
I'm on a 2 there, I think.
They're all giving me their votes in my ear.
Dean's gone 1. It'll be one or the other.
It certainly will.
If it's 3, we'll be very surprised. So vote now. You've got about 3 or 4 minutes. Something else which we're going to be looking at later on during Monday Makers is the fabulous Fuchsia collection. We'll be going back to the Fuchsia a little bit later on. Yes. There are 3 bundles here available for you. You have your flower forming bundle, which you can see on the Shop the Day page. You've also got your consumables, so we've got loads of paper, which you can see again on the website. The Essentials bundle is what we're showing you here, so it's a 9-piece collection. Let me start you off with this amazing 3D embossing folder. It is called Hummingbird in Flight. I think possibly one of the most beautiful embossing folders that we've ever done. There's your card right there, isn't it? Add on a sentiment, add on an embellishment. That is just gorgeous. Creates that absolutely beautiful scene. Don't really need to do much else. If you're looking for sentiments to go alongside that, you've got them. Loving thoughts. Love the font that you've got with this collection too. Very sort of what's a bit of a yes, very swirly. I don't know, regal, is that the right word? I don't know, but I love it. It's grateful and blessed. You've got in here, happy birthday to you. Thank you so much. Life's better with you. And one more you've got just to let you know. So you've got all of those stamps in there. This one's gorgeous as well. A stamp and die set so that you can create your own cascading fuchsias. Again, a collection that you're going to really, really love getting your pens out and colouring with. This opulent duo, once again, whether you use these together or whether you just use that frame on its own or indeed just that really, really beautiful opulent central die it's going to look incredible. And again, a really, really versatile die set that I think you can use across a whole host of different collections as well. Sets like that, and also this one, which you're also going to get, the elegant frames, they're just so versatile, aren't they? So
I don't think you
versatile.
can ever have too many of those nesting frames. You know, depending on what you want to use them for, they just work so well. They really do. All the measuring's been taken into account. You know, you just need some foam tape to pop between them to elevate them. They just make a beautiful addition to the cards, don't they?
Absolutely right. And as I said, I was just showing you there, even if you go like this way, you know, portrait, landscape, it's entirely up to you, but you'll be, again, keeping this one close by because it's a really, really handy one to go for. And this as well, how gorgeous is that? Your flourishing swirl corner. Again, great to multi-cut these, create your own little frames with. Great for little like scrapbook pages as well, little memory albums.
Absolutely. And then the one that I showed you earlier, that cut 4 times and put the corners into the middle to make your own shapes with them. Yeah.
Really, really handy. Of course, you've got in there a beautiful, majestic hummingbird in stamp and die form as well. And then quite nice, actually, that I know we've got a consumables bundle for you, but this one does actually have a couple of consumables with it. You've got your beautiful ribbons in there, and this board's seen better days. You've got pearls. I mean, you'll get more than about 20. I mean, what has gone on there? That's not a great representation of what you're going to get. But yeah, you will get a lot more than that.
Abstract patterns. What do you see?
That's it.
What do you see? Answers on a postcard.
Yeah. You know what? I want to know what I see. Right, £51.20 is the price there. Platinum, $64. Triple points as well. So that is 153 points if you're platinum and shopping in the UK. If you're shopping in the US, that is 192 points you're going to get from one purchase, which is incredible, almost bumping you up a level. That's the kind of points we're talking about today. Let's have a look at some cards, because this is a lovely collection.
I have got some demos with this collection, but obviously just looking at the time now, we'll push those to that 6 o'clock show. So again, you know, absolutely beautiful. Okay, you can see there's dies in there that create those beautiful fuchsia flowers. See the hummingbird.
Oh, wow.
Got decoupage pad there with the corners. I'll flick through this quickly because I know the time's ticking. Those nesting dies. You can see that beautiful decoupage pad again.
Oh, yes.
Lots of different styles. That's one of the rectangular and the oval together. And that, I love this stamp. We're going to use this in one of the demos. And then just blows me away every time I look at this.
It's one of the best ever, isn't it?
The detail on there is just stunning. You know, the embossing folder, a little bit of ink and some colouring. Sorted.
I was just thinking as well, those creator card dies that we showed at the top of the show would work really nicely with this as well, wouldn't they?
Yep.
There's lots to think about, If you want to get this collection ahead of the show tonight, it's £51.20, $64. Shop the day. You'll see everything right there. And remember, it's triple points. I'll not get bored of saying that. Triple points on your card and paper showstopper bundle as well. This is huge. I won't flick through it all for now because I know we're running out of time. The vote has just come through, but in essence, you're going to get everything that you're seeing here. So I did a bit of Moseby maths on this earlier. So you're basically within this set, I'm not going to touch it, you're going to get, so the Wild at Heart luxury papers, which are on the end there, the pastels, I think one of the pads of the year, actually. So many people have multi-ordered that, said how much they love it. You've got linen in that pearlescent design in that one. You've got lilac glitter cardstock, 10 sheets of that included in the bundle. You've got 16 sheets of your Nina, and then the Kingfisher pad. So all of those pads that I mentioned there, basically you're getting for free within the bundle when you get your Ultimate Pro cardstock here, and then those two sets down the bottom there with the glitter cardstock in. It's an insane bundle. Value for money is incredible. £79.20 or $96, and triple points as well. Demo of the show.
Thank you, Jamie.
Won by a whisker. It's number 2.
Beautiful. Yep,
That is
there
a
we go.
gorgeous
So
card.
that's that lovely Bella Luna collection. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Jan. So you've got a bit of a break now. We'll be back with us later on for more Money Makers.
Yes. I'm off to do a little bit of prep because I'm down with our TV partners next week down at Hobby Maker. So I'm off to do a little bit of prep while Sarah comes and talks to you all things scoring. And then I'll be back at 6 o'clock at tea time here.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Isn't it great to have Jan back in the house? We've had a fantastic show. Thank you so much for watching. As Jan's mentioned, we're going to be back in a couple of hours' time with Sarah. As part of our 12 Days of Craftsmas, of course, we're bringing you those fantastic masterclasses, 12 of them in total today. It is all about scoreboards and scoring. Any questions that you've got when it comes to that, then do let us know during that show. I know there's a few kind of questions and things coming already, which I'm going to pass on to Sarah, but it should be fun. Let's make it a nice and interactive couple of hours with Sarah, who will be here with me at 10 a.m. Eastern, that is 7 a.m. Pacific, 3 o'clock here in the UK. Until then, do make sure you check out the website. Loads there for you, loads of great deals. The outlet sale, of course, still continues as well. What a day potentially. Should be looking at that and picking up your G2 still at the lowest ever price, but with triple points. Wow, worth thinking about, isn't it? Jan and I will see you at 6. I'll see you in 2 hours there with Sarah. Until then, bye for now.